go. And here we are. Welcome, guys, to game number 3 of DauT versus Tim. Very much looking forward to this one as we go on to Arabia. The home map of DauT here is currently tied up at 1 point apiece after DauT won Nomad. Tim gets it back on Migration. And here we are once again. KillerB casting with me this time, and I'll let you introduce the players.
All right, sounds great. Yeah, pumped up for game number 3 here. Tim with a little momentum from that last win. Might need a little momentum because it is going to be the matchup we've seen a couple times in this set of games already. Not this set, but this league, I should say. It will be Tim playing Huns, and it will be Indians for DauT. This is a choose Civ game, and we will see a non-mirror matchup. Indians have done a really nice job to basically buy time, and when they get to the Imperial Age, basically just absolutely steamroll the other civs. But we'll see. Maybe Tim can crack the meta here and show us how to win with Huns on Arabia. Tim in the red on the left side of the map seems to have a kind of a mediocre map. It's maybe wallable in the late game, but his main gold on the front. It's a little bit ugly, but I think he can manage it. It is Arabia after all. I think DauT's map is maybe a little bit nicer, but for the most part, a pretty open and exciting match is ahead of us, I hope.
Yeah, definitely. Now, to come to the point of the Indians here, so far we've seen the Indians picked in all 3 series. They're currently 2 to 1, I think. We've seen the Indians win twice and lose once. And I'm interested to see how Tim's going to play this and see if he can get the win. Because obviously right now, players think that the Indians are very strong. And I think they're right to. The Indians have a good win ratio in all of our events so far, and as we've seen, they are quite a powerhouse as well. I think the pressure's on Tim here to really, first of all, show us that the Indians can be beaten, and also to basically get aggressive quite early on. I know that's something that Tim can do. I know that Tim can go quite aggressive with towers, and I think, in my opinion, that is the way to beat the Indians. I think you've got to pressure them until they just crumble. Because if you let them defend and build up to that late game powerhouse that they are, that's when you start to have big problems. And that's when we've seen the Indians dominant in these series so far.
Yeah, it's a good point. Tim with 4 Vills on wood early might be thinking about some early aggression, maybe a drush into men-at-arms, like you said, maybe even into towers. We'll see. For now, Tim is probably just keeping that open as an option because he's got to go forward and scout and figure out what DauT is up to. Tim pushed a deer or 2. DauT is pushing deer at the moment. And we're just getting these economies rolling. DauT will not be drushing. He's got 3 villagers on wood. But yeah, we're going to have to see how this develops. I think you're right about Tim needing to get out there and get aggressive early. But he's also got to find if his opponent's map is weak to that. And I would say yes. In general, this is a map you could win with towers, I think.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at the stone positions, for example. I mean, my concern is that DauT could quite easily wall up this choke point between the tree and the cliff in the center of the map. And that's going to make things a little more difficult for Tim to get over there, because it's quite a large cliff blocking Tim's path. But I think, this main gold for DauT is far forward, and his second gold is way out to the right. So if Tim can somehow lock those down and then get his own towers up around DauT here as well, I think he's got an opportunity to go for that kind of play. And of course, that's the nice thing about the Huns, is that they are incredibly versatile in the early game. They can practically do any strategy, and they can do it quite well thanks to their eco bonus of not having to build houses and the speed that grants them. So yeah, I think Tim here probably should get aggressive, but so far, let's see. I mean, he's got enough wood to build the barracks right now, and he's going to drop it down to the right of his TC at 6 minutes 30. So it could be a slam barracks, and he might not do anything with it. He might wait till he gets to fuel and make man-at-arms, but he could certainly get some militia out there and start pressuring DauT before DauT gets the defense up in place.
I like that term. It's a slam barracks. That's perfectly put. Slam loves his men-at-arms, man. He loves it. Anyway, at the moment, just watching these economies expand a little bit. Looks like DauT will have a pretty normal Dark Age, setting himself up for feudal. That barracks is coming for Tim, and I just see 1 lumber camp and 4 on wood at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on it. I would expect him to have another lumber camp soon. If he is not going to drush, and it looks like he's not queuing militia for now, but he is going to go out and take the 10 gold. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, Tim actually dropping a mining camp out there, and he's bringing his villager over to fight off the scout of DauT. So it's actually going to be a fast feudal into man-at-arms by the looks of things, which is... You know, again, you never know. You never know if it's going to be the fast militia or if it's going to be into the feudal age and man-at-arms. But you know, I think the man-at-arms strat seems to be more common these days. And DauT now, second lumber camp, it's already split. And you know, the typical strat, generally speaking, for the Indians is to go up with scouts. And he's still got 3 sheep under his TC. He's just finished up the board now. Could easily go straight into scouts here, but waiting to see that barracks come up from DauT as well. Actually, this is a nice wall from him. Just extending this wall out towards the TC. The barracks in the house going to complete that, and suddenly this wood line looks really safe.
Here we go. Tim is going to start sending 5 villagers forward. DauT has done a really nice job to scout those vills, but he is going to take quite a bit of damage on his scout. But yeah, DauT's going to see this coming from a mile away. He knows that there'll be at least 3 militia and probably men-at-arms and 5 vills building towers. So there you go.
Well, I think this is exactly what Tim needs to do. We kind of identified this a moment ago, and there you go. Tim coming forward with those 5 vills even. Sorry if I could cut you off there. Go ahead.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, I was just admiring DauT's wall off as well. He's walled in his berries for now. So he'll be safe versus men-at-arms. But Tim's scout just dying. He was trying to annoy a couple vills on the wood line. So that's a bit of a bummer for him. DauT's scout here is incredibly valuable, just keeping track of where's that first tower going to go. Because, of course, DauT will have enough stone to build 1 defensive tower. And he's got to pick the right spot on the map to do it.
Yeah, 1 defensive tower, but that's it. And, oh, this is a really, really good tower from Tim. It's coming out just outside of the berries. He's going to start building it first. It's 5 villagers for Tim, 4 villagers for DauT, and his man-at-arms, man-at-arms now are there. So this is a great tower for Tim. It's going to pressure these villagers. DauT could lose a villager here, and those men-at-arms are preventing DauT from doing anything about it here. His scout's so low, he's going to hop into the tower, and DauT, the villager's trapped inside of his walls. His own tower is going up, but it's going to be... yeah, quite a bit later, and villagers taking quite a lot of damage as well. The men-at-arms immediately attacking the tower here, and meanwhile, DauT's got his stable up and scouts on the way as well.
Yeah, Tim has 3 vills on stone. Actually, he's now got 6 villagers on stone,
Nice.
so Tim is really thinking about more towers. So Tim is ready to build more towers. DauT has no extra stone economy at the moment. And his main stone is now taken away by Tim's tower. Both players rushing in. Tim will rush this tower down. DauT will send a few scouts over, but he's going to have to retreat or pull more villagers into the mix. And it looks like retreat is going to be the option that we see him choose.
Yeah, this
So
is
a great start for Tim.
Yeah, I was just about to say exactly the same. This is a perfect start for Tim. All of the militia still full health, or men-at-arms still full health. His villagers, of course, he should wall up the tower now. Yeah, there you go. He's going to wall it up. Denying the berries. And bear in mind, DauT just did scouts. So, I mean, it's kind of a big deal to lose those berries at this stage. He's now got to start seeding farms a little earlier, and yeah, it gets a little messy back here. Tim can afford to build more towers, and something I noticed earlier on, a huge issue for DauT right now is getting the stone. He hasn't scouted it, he doesn't know it's out here on the right side, and his main stone is covered by the tower. So where are the counter towers going to come from for DauT? They're not going to be there.
Yeah, DauT here is in a really tough position. He's going to start adding in skirms and an archer for now. That's going to be all he can afford. Does have the 4 scouts, is going to wait for the right moment and just hope that Tim maybe makes a bit of an error. If the men-at-arms get a little too far away from the vills, we could see something interesting. But there is now a spearman in there as well for Tim. So DauT here has really got his hands full. He's going to have a whole lot of trouble recovering from this.
Yeah, Tim doing the right thing by bringing the spearmen forward as well, obviously to counter those scouts. His men-at-arms in there, going to tank damage from the skirms. And this second tower, I mean, I don't feel too strongly about this either way. I think, you know, it might be in range to block the farms on the left side. It's certainly going to cover the gold, actually. So maybe that's actually better than I first thought. But if Tim keeps coming to the right, he's going to be able to get onto this wood line. And DauT only has 1 wood line right now. He's doubled down on this. So if a tower comes up behind here, here, it's going to be pretty painful. DauT now rushing up a market, and I mean, he's maybe trying to redistribute some resources, but it's looking messy to say the least. DauT actually going out now, leaving his base, sending the units across the map, but Tim's already walled up all of his important resources here. So good play by Tim so far.
Yeah, I think DauT here is maybe going to buy a tower. I'm not sure what his plan is, but a defensive tower to stop the creep might be worth investing in market. But we will see those scouts coming forward from the blue player. Tim is ready with a spearman in defense and probably won't be blindsided by this. In the meantime, the red towers continue to creep around. And once fletching is in, I think all of these towers can guard each other. They're all in series here, so they're going to be really annoying for DauT to take down.
Yeah, we've got the blacksmith for Tim coming up right now. Biggest concern right now is, of course, these 3 ranged units. Of course, the walls can defend from the scouts, but the ranged units are a problem, and DauT might find himself the first villager pick of the game. We've not actually seen a villager for DauT going down yet. 42 pop for DauT, 41 for Tim. And actually, Tim going to lose the first villager here as he runs back towards the TC and is forced off of the stone. And of course, he has no answer, really, for this ranged army, unless he, of course, just builds towers all over his own base. And he only has enough stone for 1 tower right now, so could be a little problem for him. He could, of course, go onto the stone of DauT, since that's actually protected on the front. But he's actually building a mill, and he's going to grab DauT's berries instead.
Yeah, DauT did buy a tower. His tower is up on that wood line, so Tim's tower creep will not continue in that direction. And that's going to send Tim going the other way. He'll drop a MILF, like you said, for the moment, and he's going to work his way around with those men-at-arms and see if he can find an advantageous place to hit his opponent. Tim will drop a defensive tower on his own wood line. That is a very inefficient wood line with tons of villagers bumping into each other there. But he is all in on this tower push, so I suppose maybe his attention is a little bit elsewhere. DauT will start building up a ton of farms on the right side of the map, but Tim's going to find him there with men-at-arms, and here we go. Tim's going to get a few picks out of this.
Oh, yeah, that's really nice, actually. This villager's really out of position. I was just watching DauT harass Tim's eco whilst you were saying that. But yeah, DauT making the play towards the gold here. And, I mean, that's risky. That is so risky. Tim's going to find it, of course. So DauT right now with the 3 skirms, and these men-at-arms are more than enough to repel this for the time being. And I think I heard Tim building an archery range now as well, so we're going to start seeing some skirms and some archers from Tim also.
Yeah, I'd say all in all, that could have gone worse for DauT. I actually didn't see him lose a villager there, and the villagers did do a decent job to meat shield for the skirms. Importantly, the skirms are not upgraded. That damage upgrade can be so useful. But in the meantime, we'll see Tim get the damage upgrade right now. So Tim's towers are going to be reaching a little bit further, and DauT is going to still kind of have some relatively ineffective skirmishers on the map.
Yeah, for sure. And right now as well, Tim coming forward with the man-at-arms. I mean, they're not dying, are they? He's killing the scouts. You know, he's tanking up the skirms, and he's buying himself a little bit of time so that he can get his own ranges working out here and start his own defense with the archers and skirms. And as you said, he has got fletching now as well. So that's really good. DauT just building a blacksmith, so we'll see fletching from DauT fairly soon. But all in all, I mean, I would say DauT really isn't in a bad position at all. Bear in mind, DauT has not lost a villager, so what a defense from him. Kudos to that, considering he's lost the left side of his base entirely. You know, he's just rebuilt out on the right side, and Tim hasn't done enough damage, I feel.
Yeah, Tim here took away the main gold, he took away the main stone and the berries. But DauT on the other side of the map is now happily taking some gold, and he's found that stone that was in the fog of war before. So DauT here, definitely a masterful defense, is going to give himself at least a chance to try to come back and win this game. He's in the score lead right now, but Tim is still sort of the lead dancer at the moment, in my opinion. Resources, though, favor DauT. He's got a bit more food in the bank, and he may be able to get up to castle a little sooner.
And again, that's where the Indians really come into play, come into power, with the fact that they have those cheaper villagers right now, costing 15% less. Don't mind if I do, says DauT, allowing him to really bank up a lot of food at the same time. Yeah, I mean, he's just in a really good position considering all of this aggression that came in from Tim in the early game. Tim's going to put up a decent defense with his own archers and skirmishers, but DauT using the hill to his advantage, bringing in some reinforcements, and if he can hold the hill, then he might be able to again push this away, as he now probably has the greater numbers in this fight.
Yeah, skirmisher fight is going to be actually a really important part of this match because Tim has a couple vills still out there working on stone. He's adding in a stable now as we speak, and DauT will win the hill for now. Tim might be forced to put a few scouts out. Looks like he is queuing a scout as we speak. DauT on the other side is doing a good job to build up his eco. This one mining camp on the front is really exposed, so it's important, I think, for DauT to continue to have basically map control at the moment. Those 7 or 8 skirms are really keeping his opponent on the defensive, and that's giving DauT some time to take that gold. He was starving for gold a minute ago.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I think this is really good that he's got these skirms on the front. And what's more impressive is DauT is on the way to the Castle Age at 35% right now. He's got archers coming out, he's got a stable up as well. And we're going to see crossbow from him once he hits castle, I imagine. Which is going to be pretty powerful here. I think Tim is just in no position to defend from these crossbows, especially if DauT just adds 1 or 2 camels to deal with the skirms and maybe a couple of these rogue scouts as well. I mean, I honestly see this game going in DauT's favor right now. Tim, though, going to grab enough stone to build another tower here. I don't see that happening, to be honest, since DauT does have the archers on standby, and I think he'll be able to rush over there and deny that tower for the time being. So Tim's going to lose vills, and he's going to lose a lot more vills than DauT has this game at this rate.
Yeah, Tim's tower denied there. DauT able to bring over a couple archers. DauT's no fool. He's just going to continue to queue units and keep them on that tiny little hill near his mining camp. Tim will go in and raid. A couple of scouts coming in. A couple of skirmishers with 2 archers mixed in as well. So DauT taking some damage here, but he's still sticking with that gold pile. He's not going to retreat those vills for now. And he will eventually chase Tim away. And I don't know if it's too early for Tim to call GG when Castle comes in, but we might just see that.
Oh, I mean, Tim is a fighter. Tim won't call GG yet, but it's really concerning. Tim is nowhere near the Castle Age, and DauT now is about to get these upgrades any second. And you know what? DauT still hasn't lost a villager yet, and I say yet because he's about to, I think, as this bunch of units come in towards the gold mine, and he will lose 1. But impressive play by DauT here, and there you go. Crossbow comes in, the camel comes out, and Tim's going to lose this army now. And what are these towers really achieving at this point? They're doing nothing at all.
Tim will get, there will be a silver lining here. He'll get another tower down, which is kind of nice to annoy his opponent, but he still has not reached the ability to stop DauT from getting gold. DauT taking stone with a couple vills as well. So DauT's in a great spot here. But Tim, as you said, is going to fight it out a little bit longer. I'm glad he is. It is, after all, a game that has a lot of meaning. It's not just some friendly game that you can say and go on to the next. But yeah, DauT with a masterful defense here, and he's absolutely in the driver's seat of this game. Those first couple camels chasing those skirms all the way back, and they're going to kill almost every one of them. One plus side for Tim is that he's got some defensive towers at home. He can protect some of his economy. Yeah. So he's not totally naked to being raided, but it's really a tough match for Tim from this point out.
Yeah, that's very, very true, actually. And I think in this position, what can Tim really do? He's got to keep producing military. He cannot rely entirely on these towers for defense, since it doesn't give him full coverage of his economy here. And Tim's now up to the Castle Age, so he's going to try and stall things out. He's going to try and last as long as he can, but I'm really doubtful that he's going to be able to hold on. DauT at the front of his base now, putting a TC up on that gold mine. I'd like to see a siege workshop from him, just start to clean out the towers, get his main gold back. But yeah, I mean, Tim still got a fighting chance. I mean, he's still at least got something in this game, and that's the fact that DauT can't damage his economy too much from this position.
Yeah, Tim at the moment is going to hold the line. Elite Skirm and Crossbow in for DauT. He's got +2/+2, so he's really going deep into investing into the Archer line. Camels are out. There's some investment into upgrades on those, I suppose. But for the most part, it is really an archer build at the moment for DauT. DauT's going to get his camels in as well onto Tim's stone. DauT's stone. The stone that Tim is taking that was once DauT's is going to be raided, and those villagers are going to start dropping.
Yep, 2 vills down there, and again, DauT's still killing a lot more villagers this game. He's even brought some villagers over to take down one of these towers. His camels, in the meantime, are going to attack the base of this other one, so it looks like Tim will actually get cleaned out, and DauT doesn't even feel the need to bring any siege into the picture here to do that. But yeah, I mean, once Tim does hit castle, he's got quite a bit of wood, he's got quite a bit of food, quite a bit of gold. He could, he is the Huns, he could start making some knights from these 2 stables and start to clean this up, because this is just a small number of crossbows from DauT. And there you go, 2 knights immediately coming out here. And I think Tim, if he gets a little bit more, well, he can't get more stone, can he? He's actually lost access to the stone, but if he goes over to his right side, he could get a second TC as well. But for now, I almost feel like maybe Tim's better off just staying on 1 TC and getting hyper aggressive here.
Yeah, Tim's in a real tough spot. I like the idea of aggression. He is going with some cav archers as well as knights. At least he queued those initially. Let's see if they actually started coming out. Yeah, he's got them out there. I don't see a university for DauT, so I don't think we're going to see ballistics just yet. But yeah, Tim's not going to go and upgrade those feudal archers and skirmishers. He's going to go straight into cav archers. Knights rolling out for the red player Tim, +1 defense with bloodlines on those, so they will clean up a lot of the harassment from DauT. But DauT has done a number on this wood line. If you look at Tim's wood line, it is a mess. It's a mess. You might as well consider half of those villagers as not working at all. It's just a really ugly wood line. And so DauT here, although he'll lose some units, I think he really did get in some great damage there.
Yeah, well, again, that's the problem for Tim. Where else would he take wood here? That's a safe position. The other position is that he goes forward, and that's not going to work either. Of course, the nice thing for DauT is that he can just switch into camels now and counter any knights that Tim pumps out. So Tim switching into the cavalry archers, or maybe focusing on the cavalry archers, I should say, is definitely going to be the better move for him to make. They will deal with those camels a little more effectively. And right now, I think Tim's done a decent job of trying to clean up this army from DauT, but there's no way that he's ready to strike back just yet, and that is a concern because Tim is staying on 1 TC. It's confirmed as the university comes up, and he's going to be massing up the cav archers looking for ballistics, and he's going to try and bring this one back with the typical Huns meta here.
Yeah, I think it's a good move on Tim's part. DauT is adding in a siege workshop so he can clean up the last couple towers from his opponent and try to take over his resources. What we might see is Tim getting enough of an army up to maybe harass those resources as DauT tries to move over there. And yeah, Tim's going to give this the old college try. I think he's got a decent chance here at doing some damage. You just can't run straight into these elite skirms for too long.
Yeah, taking quite a bit of damage there. I think the weakest part of DauT's economy is definitely on this right-hand side, where the mill is near to the stone. It's just very open. He was forced to build out here because of those towers, of course, and now that's a weak point in his economy, where a few cavalry archers can get in there, avoiding all TC fire, almost directly between the 3 TCs, and kill quite a few villagers from that position. But, it's on DauT now to not let that happen, and Tim he's just going to keep massing up the cavalry archers for the time being. He's got bloodlines, he's got +2, he's even got +1 defense. And for the time being, DauT on 3 TCs, defending with a mangonel and camels. And I think if DauT gets the +2 defense, or I should say +3 defense now on the camels, I think he's got a good shot at defending this and fighting it off.
Yeah, I think Tim here is doing a really nice job to basically take the only option that's left. The only good option that's left is to just go all in for a little bit. He will eventually, though, drop a second TC. We've actually seen that come down now to the right side of his base. So Tim will add in a couple of knights to meat shield up. He'll add in a bunch of cav archers to get in some raiding. There's actually a couple of light cav coming out as well for him. Pretty diverse army there, but in the end, there will be a second TC. He's not going to let DauT just totally boom his way out of this game.
Yeah, that's the problem, though. I mean, DauT is booming his way out of this game. I mean, it's 4 TCs for DauT right now, and he's got the bigger military. Well, maybe not the bigger military, but he's able to keep military production going. DauT here, 111 population, whilst Tim is on 84. Yeah, he's just so far behind Nicov. I almost feel like just forget the second TC. Just go all in now. Wow, this is DauT in a nutshell. 5 TCs. Why? I mean, DauT, why don't you just build 6 or 7 or 8? I mean, why stop at 5? I have to ask.
Well, he's going to go for it here. We're going to see, actually, we're going to see Tim come in just as that 4th TC finishes, or maybe that's the 5th.
That's the 5th.
The 5th TC there is actually rather meaningful. It finished just as those Cav Archers got in. And Camels from DauT will stop any major raiding. So Tim here still has that army, but DauT is, for the moment, doing a pretty darn nice job to keep Tim from doing any real damage.
Absolutely. I mean, Tim has got a couple of cavalry archers on the right side, and he's going towards that exposed area I spoke of earlier, but it's not that much. And I think DauT should be able to deal with that with just a few camels here. He has got +3 defense now, and yeah, I mean, Tim, a decent massive cavalry archer, and not enough damage coming through. I think the only thing Tim could really cling on to here is maybe if he stays on 2 TCs, he might just be able to reach the Imperial Age in a decent time, and maybe then. But I just think it's so hard in Tim's position when DauT's on 5 TCs, and give it a tick, he'll be up to the Imperial Age, and then you've got heavy camels to contend with your cavalry archers, and they're going to have 5 pierce armor, and they're going to be tanky. It's going to be tough for Tim, that's for sure.
Tim's going to come forward with a siege workshop here, so it's kind of an interesting build. He's got 1 foot into the all-in push and 1 foot out with his second TC. In the end, though, I think it's going to be at least an interest. He's going to make the game interesting here.
Yeah.
Potentially going to add in a Mangonel, I would guess. Is that what's coming out first? No, it's going to be Rams.
Interesting.
Yeah, a couple Rams.
I would have, yeah, I guess either way, they're going to be kind of exposed to the camels. But, I mean, Tim's actually looking pretty scary right now with these cavalry archers. They're fully upgraded for the Castle Age. And they're pretty potent. I mean, DauT does have a good number of skirms. He has got a few camels, but Tim could do some damage here. The problem is, Tim probably has to kill about 30 to 40 villagers right now to equalize in this game, I feel. And I just don't think he's going to be able to do that with DauT pumping out the elite skirms at this point. And Tim, okay, he'll kill a few of DauT's units again, but he's not killing any villagers, and I feel like that is probably the main problem right now for him. So much so that DauT feels he can just go to the Imperial Age right now, and these cavalry archers are going to be no problem. So he's going to click up in, just now, and there you go, the Imperial Age upgrade's coming through.
It's 155 pop for DauT, and it's about 110 for Tim. So there's a huge population difference, and DauT here obviously knows how to win this type of game. It's just defend yourself. It's kind of stay inside my base, don't get raided too hard, keep my opponent at bay. When I hit the Imperial Age, I'll flip the script and stop producing villagers and then just crush my opponent. And it seems to all be going to plan right now. Looked pretty dark in the beginning for him with those towers creeping in, but DauT showing us why he's one of the top pros in the game here.
Yeah, definitely able to boom under pressure. It's the forte of DauT's there. But Tim here with the 4 Rams on the front, making a Mangonel as well. I think, if he'd added a Mangonel earlier, he could probably deal with these skirms. They're a little bit of a nuisance right now, but looks like Tim's going to be pushing towards this TC in just a moment. But, I mean, by the time Tim's ready to push, DauT will be imp. And DauT is up to like 5 stables right now. He's got 3 ranges, or 2 ranges, I think. He's going to be really producing a lot, but it's go time for Tim. This is it now. Tim's push. If this is somewhat successful, maybe Tim has a chance. But we will see as he holds this hill and starts pushing forward with the Rams and the Mangonel.
Yeah, DauT with +1 damage, +3 defense on the camels, so they're a little bit less wimpy, but they will run in and try to knock down some of these Rams. Mangonel from DauT tried to get in range. Tim was able to snipe it. Tim is clinging to a little bit of a hill here. He's going to have a tower on top of that hill as well, so he will get a good fight, and I think DauT is going to have to really basically retreat here. I mean, keep the TC alive, keep fighting, but I don't think he can really win this fight toe-to-toe at the moment. Skirmishers, though, getting in some good damage. Camels hanging out in the back. And DauT will soon be Imperial. He can beef his camels up a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing now. DauT can afford to lose units here. He can afford it. He can afford to lose this TC. It's not like he doesn't have 4 others in the back. So, although the TC is going to go down, DauT can pump out unit after unit after unit. It's no problem for him right now. But Tim still looking very, very potent on this hill as DauT's rushing up a castle on this right-hand side to try and just, prevent Tim from pushing in any further. Tim getting a good shot here with the Oh, that was nice. A good shot with the Mangonel. It's going to overwhelm DauT just enough to allow him to get into range of the castle, but that castle's going up. And that is it for Tim's push right there. He's got to go back.
Yeah, and Tim will give the GG here. I think it was a really nicely played game from Tim. He was very aggressive. We saw DauT defend very, very nicely against the tower push. And in the end, that last big push from Tim just wasn't quite enough. I think it was great that he knocked down the TC and grabbed some vills. But with DauT hitting the Imperial Age and DauT having 4 TCs to Tim's 2, I think it was just not... The game was getting out of hand. So Tim will give the GG here in the end.
Absolutely. And I think